EcoLeague is the collection of 5 colleges that share similar missions based on environmental responsibility and social change. All of them have a strong environmental department and provide small classroom sizes that allow for an intimate hands-on college experience. They give students the opportunity to spend up to 2 semesters at a different school to experience a different part of the countries. The 5 schools include Alaska Pacific University, College of the Atlantic, Green Mountain College, Prescott College, and Northland College. Attending any one of these colleges is a wonderful opportunity to experience a new world with new faculty and new ways of thinking. But how do you choose which college is right for you? That's a difficult choice. But if you are looking for a truly remarkable and different experience for a semester, look no further than Northland College.
Hi there, my name is Michaela, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Northland College. Northland College is a small environmental liberal arts school located in Ashland, Wisconsin. Chances are your school is a lot like ours. It's very small and it has a lot of hands-on experimental work. So why choose Northland to visit for a semester? Well, I interviewed a couple students and they're going to tell you why Northland is so cool and important to them.
So what makes Northland so special to you?
I really like the location of Northland College. I like the town. Ashland's it's a really nice town. It's such a friendly feel, but I really like the lake. That's probably one of my favorite parts of going here. It is such a beautiful body of water, and it's the largest freshwater lake in the world. And it's so magnificent. Paddling on it is such a great experience, and the sunsets are probably the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen are on Lake Superior. And it's really accessible when you're on, it's like a mile down the road from campus, and when it's warm out, it's a nice place to swim, and when it's cold, it's a nice place to walk on. Winter was the first in 5 years that you could go out in the ice caves, and that was amazing. It was so cool. We were just crawling around on the ice, and there were huge rocks and caves on the side of us, and you just kind of look at it, and I was like, wow, we are so small. But it was such a cool experience, and I know so many people were super stoked to go out there, and it was just really beautiful, and I'm really excited to see what the sea caves look like in the summer. Paddling in them and just exploring the area more.
So you like to drive down a lot of times and watch the sunset on the lake. Can you tell me why you do that?
I do. I don't really know, actually. Sunsets have always been a favorite of mine. I've always really liked them. And the sunsets on the lake are so beautiful and so breathtaking that it's just kind of a perfect way to end like any day. Like if it's a good day, I'll go down there and it'll be nice. If it's a bad day, I go down there and it's still awesome. Like it's, and it's cool going with friends. I bike down there with friends when it's nice out, but I also go alone too, and it's still really nice.
So talk to me about your relationship with the lake.
Well, I came from an area down in southern Wisconsin that I grew up on Lake Michigan, and so when I came up here, I was completely unfamiliar with Lake Superior, and I basically didn't think there was anything new to see because I already lived on one of the Great Lakes. But as soon as I spent time on Lake Superior, I realized it's completely different than Lake Michigan. It's pristine, it's beautiful, the wildlife around here in this area is just unlike anything I've ever seen down where I'm from. Lake Michigan, you have seagulls, and that's pretty much it, but up here you've got all kinds of wildlife and beautiful nature. So just spending time on the lake paddling through Superior Connections and just on my own time, I've really grown really connected to it and to the beauty that is the lake. Recently I've spent a lot of time out on the lake. There's not many places where you can walk out onto the lake and feel perfectly safe. People even drive onto this lake, which is incredible to me because it's so cold, it freezes so thick. But recently I've gone out onto the lake and would just lay in the snow and stare up at the stars because there are so many and it's absolutely beautiful. And of course, during the winter time, there's also Book Across the Bay, which is a really incredible community event that I think everyone should participate in. You walk across the lake, it's pretty cool. And then in the fall and spring and summer and pretty much any other time once the snow melts, I really enjoy paddling the lakes and the streams connected to the lake. And last year I spent a lot of time canoeing on the lake through Superior Connections.
So tell us about that final project you did about the lake.
For May term, I traveled around Lake Superior. We were just car camping. We drove most of the time, but we were camping for 3 weeks, and it was me, 12 other students, and 2 professors, and that was one of the most unique experiences I've ever had. And we had to do a final project once we got back, and I really like writing, and so I thought I'd write a letter, because that's kind of a lost form of art, I think. And I didn't really know who I was going to write a letter to or what I was going to write a letter to until I realized that I was going to write it to the lake, because that was really what I wanted to, who I wanted to thank for the experience that I had, because if it wasn't for the lake, I wouldn't have done that. You know, I wouldn't have had, things would have been so different. I can't even imagine that. And so I was reading it in front of everyone the very last day, and I like surprised myself by getting like super sentimental, and like I started choking up, and I was just so thankful to have the experiences that I had. And you know, it's a beautiful, vast body of water, but it's, you know, it's also, you know, it's just hard to put in words to sometimes. But yeah, that was a great experience, and I wanted to give it to the lake, aside from just reading it, you know. So the next day I stuck it in a bottle, and I went down to watch the sunset with a bunch of friends, and I threw the bottle in the water, and it actually ended up coming back towards us, but I don't really know where it is now. That was 8 months ago, but it doesn't really matter because the lake still knows. So that was it was a really good way to end my first year here.
With any luck, these students helped you to see why Northland and Lake Superior are so beautiful. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next year.